Hello and welcome back. This week's episode of Geek Lunch Meat comes with 3 rules. Number 1, keep out of direct sunlight. Number 2, do not get it wet. And number 3, whatever you do not feed it after midnight. Hello, welcome back to Geek Lunch Meat. I'm your host Chris, and we're going to be taking a look at a few things this week. First things first, Gremlins. A few things happened this week with Gremlins. First of all, there was an advert for Mountain Dew featuring Zach Galligan from the original movie, and who played Billy, and it featured Gizmo as well, and inevitably the Mountain Dew falls on him, and he starts replicating. Not really anything significant in the grand scheme of things there, but it did come with news on the Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai animated series, which seems to have been in production for ages. I'm sure they announced it originally in 2019. Finally, they've announced that some of the voice talent involved, Ming-Na Wen is involved, who was the original Mulan, was in Agent May in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and is most recently seen, of course, as Fennec Shand in The Mandalorian, and is going to be carrying on that role in the Book of Boba Fett series and in the Bad Batch animated show coming to Disney Plus in a few months. Also, BD Wong was announced. He plays Wu, the chap in Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World movies, who the original scientist who helped create the dinosaurs and then turned evil and has become, I suspect, will probably be one of the main villains in the next Jurassic World film. And then the legendary James Hong is involved, who was David Lopan in Big Trouble in Little China. So he absolutely fantastic to see him. Well, not see him, to hear him. Not much else is really known about the series. It's a prequel. There was this piece of artwork was shown ages ago, and that's about it. So I'm not even sure when it comes out. I'm assuming later on this year. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And Gremlins 3. There's been a script apparently for years. It's one of those 80s things, very similar to Goonies. Apparently there was a Goonies 2 script flying around for ages, and these rumours that things are going to go moving forward to them constantly surface, but nothing ever happens. Goonies, I'm not so sure. To me, that was lightning in a bottle. I don't know if you could replicate that in this day and age. Gremlins, however, I think there's plenty of potential there. They're great quality monsters. Most monster series sort of run with differing quality, but yeah, I mean the first one obviously is classic. I watch it every Christmas, and it still holds up today. The second one then changes tact, makes it a lot more lighter, obviously a lot more for kids, and as a satire on that sort of late 80s, early 90s greed and corporations and Trump, obviously parodied as Clamp. Yeah, I think you can sort of go anywhere with monsters. You can just update them and bring them in to look at anything happening in issues happening in society today. So yeah, I can see Gremlins 3. I think Chris Columbus is involved, and yeah, don't be surprised. I imagine we might hear something on that later on this year. Also this year, from out of the blue, Edgar Wright, obviously the genius behind the Cornetto trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End, and obviously Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and Baby Driver, and obviously Space to the original show. Apparently looks like he's in initial talks to direct a remake of The Running Man, the Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle based on Stephen King's book, written under his pseudonym Richard Bachman. The Arnie's film is very, very different than the book, and apparently Edgar Wright's going to make a much more faithful version of the novel. I wasn't expecting it. It doesn't seem to fit his style, to be honest. He's certainly quite a departure from his usual work. So yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what he does with that. I'm surprised. I never thought that in this day and age someone would film the actual book as it is. Slight spoilers, but I mean there are bits involving flying aeroplanes into tall skyscrapers, which I can't really see happening. But who knows? That one that one come out of left field. So if that does actually get up and running, that would certainly be an interesting one to watch. So several trailers dropped this week. First one was Cruella. Disney again diving into its animated back catalogue, bringing it and updating it for live action. Now, also, we did have a live action 101 Dalmatians movie, and I think there was a sequel, 102 Dalmatians, I think. But now we've got a prequel again. Depends how you feel about these things. Emma Stone, who does look great in the trailer, as Cruella. It begs the question: do we need to see the sort of origin story of what is ultimately a horrible woman who wants to steal someone's puppies and skin them and make a coat? I mean, it worked. I suppose it worked for them with Maleficent. That made them quite a bit of money, so they're obviously going down that route again. The trailer does look pretty good. Yeah, it's been interesting to see how they go with it. It sort of looks like they're going for a sort of woman's power sort of uplifting story. How that fits in, I don't know. It would work. I can see it working if it was any company other than Disney making a very sort of deranged story. I don't know. I think Disney are far too mainstream and family friendly to do that. So yeah, not quite sure how that one's going to pan out. Also, not quite sure when we're going to see it because I can't see the cinemas in the UK opening anytime soon. So not quite sure. Yeah, that one we want to look out for. The Mortal Kombat trailer drops as well. Yeah, again, I've got no dog in the fight on this one. I remember playing Mortal Kombat in the arcade when I was a kid, not being very good at it, not wanting to waste my money on it. It seems it was going to take a lot of money to get any good on it, so I never really played it very much. I think I saw the original movie when it came out. I know there's been TV series and stuff since. Never played any of the games since. The trailer looks like it's a lot of CGI violence. It could be fun. History tells us computer game movies probably isn't going to be much cop, but yeah, it might be mindless fun. Anyway, it's got some of the guys from The Raid and The Night Comes to Us, so hopefully there might be some good action scenes in it. So yeah, again, that's going straight to HBO Max in the States. So obviously what we don't get over here, so I don't know what will be happening cinema-wise with that one. That'd be, say, another one to keep an eye on. And then finally, the Justice League Snyder Cut trailer come out just over a week ago. Again, I'm not that bothered by it. I have seen the original. There were bits in the trailer that I recognised, bits I didn't recognise. I don't know. The haters are going to hate. Fanboys are going to say it's the second coming and the best thing since sliced bread. I get the feeling that a lot of people like me are going to say, yeah, okay. The film wasn't exactly well received. So do we want to see a 4-hour extended cut? I know there's a lot of new footage in it. I don't know how much that changes the actual story. But yeah, that's coming March the 18th. Again, that's HBO Max in the States. But apparently they have just agreed a deal to get it out worldwide. I suspect it's going to be going to things like Sky Cinema or any wherever you get your on-demand films from. So yeah, if you like DC Extended Universe, then yeah, I mean, there's 4 hours of that coming at you. Everyone else, I imagine, probably going to take it or leave it. Yeah, I expect we'll probably revisit the whole DC Extended Universe later on when lockdown's done. I get a co-host in. We can start having some discussions on what they are doing right, what they've got wrong. Marvel sort of seems to have got it right, and DC just seem to be constantly running to catch up. But yeah, discussion for another day. But yeah, thanks for bearing with us. As I say, during these lockdown times. So this is probably going to be a short update today. But yeah, hopefully when lockdown's done and we can get some better equipment, some better software, and a co-host in to bounce some ideas off, there'll be a lot more discussion. But for the moment, you've just got me. So this week I've been busy. Really, all I've had a chance to watch Tribes of Europa on Netflix. I mentioned it last week. It's only a 6-part series. You can binge it, and probably best to binge it all in one go. It's very easy watching. It's quite cheesy. It's like Mad Max, Thunderdome, bit of Fury Road, chuck in some Game of Thrones, and for me, if you've played the PlayStation game Horizon Zero Dawn, mash them all together, and then you've got Tribes of Europa. It's set in 2074. The big event happened 50 odd years ago. I think they call it Black December. All sort of power went out. Things have sort of reverted to sort of pre-industrialization days, although some people have got energy. So it's a mishmash. It's very much like Horizon Zero Dawn in that fashion. You've got some tribes who use crossbows and live out in the woods. You've got other people who have still got cars. They seem to have energy. There's another tribe that looks very much like the War Boys from Mad Max Fury Road, all fighting to get their hands on this strange cube that glows, that belongs. They keep mentioning Atlanteans. I haven't quite ascertained if they are actually from Atlantis or they're just from a tribe called Atlantis. Yeah, it's all very watchable. There's a lot of people chewing up the scenery. Some of the acting is very broad, but it goes along a fair old pace. Never really outstays its welcome. I say it's only 6 episodes. It reminded me of the opposite of the early episodes of Game of Thrones, where it takes ages for anything to happen. Yeah, it takes 5 or 6 seasons for Daenerys to get across the sea, and you're sort of thinking, "Oh, I just want to get this." Yeah, and like the complete opposite, stuff gets thrown at you. It felt very much almost like a bit like a video game or a role-playing game or a series of books. Something that's got someone sat down and written a lot of lore, a lot of background to it, and then you're sort of someone's gone, right, okay, we're just adapting this small part of it, and there's sort of things on the fringe that you don't really get to see very much. But yeah, very watchable. Don't go in expecting much. Yeah, it's bits of it in German, quite a lot of it's in German, bits of it in English. It's quite campy. Reminded me of some of the bad guys. Reminded me of like the early '80s Flash Gordon movie. So yeah, very camp, very cheesy. But yeah, I'd recommend it if you're easily pleased like me. Yeah, give it a go. So that's it from us. Just a quick update, as I say, this week. Thanks very much for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you could. That will really help the channel out. And till next time, eat, geek, and be merry.